Yeah, and I'm glad that you found Dr. Miller, and it seemed like, she resonated with what you were looking for.
Mhm.
What were you struggling with before you started your ketamine assisted therapy process?
Mhm. So I was born during a war. So war experiences, traumatic childhood, verbal and physical violence um, within my family, problems with men, codependency issues. Um, and I thought that that's the reason why I need to see someone. But then when Dr. Miller and I started having sessions that were so different than talk therapy, um, I think within the first session, I realized that there's something so much deeper that I did not touch yet. Um, I had never connected with what is called in psychology the inner child. I had never really gone beyond the surface. And the first session alone took me to a place where I really wanted to escape. I was scared. A place within me. I was terrified. And Dr. Miller did something that I still think about every day. She told me, um, don't dissociate, don't dissociate. And I had no idea what she was talking about. And I was crying and I told her, I don't understand this. What does this mean? And she explained to me, do not leave your body. Don't get in your head. Feel. Where's that feeling? Get into the feeling. And it was so scary for me because I did not know what would be behind that feeling. It was terrifying. It was one of the scariest moments of my life. And I've experienced war because it felt like this is the real war. This is what's really going on inside of me. And she, although we had never met before, she guided me through the process in a way where I went into this feeling and I met this little girl. That was me. And I was like, that's what I was so scared of, meeting you. And I reconnected with parts of me I had really forgotten. Really forgot. I could not feel her anymore. I had no connection to her. So I was born in Lebanon. We lived there for 4 years and then we moved to Germany. This little me that I met was pre-Germany. And I think in German. So I was approaching her in German. And she was so feisty and yelled at me and said, "Speak Arabic to me. Stop with all this German." And that was the moment when I realized, oh man, I forgot about you. I forgot about you. I left you behind so I could uh, be what society wanted me to be. So that was my first experience with Dr. Miller. And I don't want to say the most transformative because all of them were. All of them were so meaningful. But yeah, that was the entry point. And that session alone, I mean, I still go to talk therapy. I love speaking about issues that are coming up for me, but I would not be able to go through it the way I'm going through it now had I not done the ketamine and the somatic therapy.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. So it sounds like ketamine therapy and working with Dr. Miller, at least initially, really helped you connect with this part of you that was still speaking and reacting to certain things in the world, but you weren't totally aware of it or connected to her necessarily. And she allowed you to get to a place where you got to visit that deeper part of yourself and reconnect with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Of course, that was a really significant shift for you, but were there any other significant shifts that you experienced during ketamine therapy that you want to share about?
Oh yeah, so many. So many. I mean, and it would not only happen within the ketamine sessions or the integration sessions or the prep sessions, it would also happen, and I think that's even more than the ketamine itself, the work afterwards.
Mm.
I realized that the more time I took alone, journaling, being good to myself, being kind, eating good foods, hydrating, sleeping, just the basic things that we sometimes forget to do, the more I did in that realm, the more healing I got. I think one of the biggest things for me was memories returning, memories that I had forgotten, that I had pushed away, that I had locked in, that were causing panic, that were causing anxiety, severe panic attacks. I mean, I suffered, I don't want to say suffer anymore. I suffered from complex PTSD and memories of being sexually abused as a child. I had no idea. I mean, I'm 38. I went through my life. I met so many people who told me about their childhood experience being sexually abused, being touched in inappropriate ways. It did nothing to me. I mean, of course, I felt really bad for them. It hurt me for them. But I was so detached from my own experiences. And if somebody told me you were sexually abused, if somebody would have showed me proof, I said, no, this is a lie. This never happened. This was the intensity of the detachment that I was dealing with. And through those, I think it was 5 or 6 months of work, therapy with Dr. Miller, those memories came back. And I remembered the person, I remembered the scenario. And I think that was one of the most healing things for me, because there were times in my life where I would, especially around panic and anxiety, where I would think, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling panic right now? I would be sitting on a plane going to Miami. Next to me, an older person, an older man that had a certain scent that I didn't like. And I started crying and I didn't know why. So I felt crazy. Why am I sitting next to this person that I don't know? I'm smelling something. It's reminding me, it feels like it's reminding me of something, but I cannot place this. So now, because of this detachment, I'm feeling crazy. Now I know why I cried, because the scent reminded me of a person that harmed me when I was little. I would have nightmares of going into bathrooms that looked like um, art rooms, and there would be like security that would allow people to come in one person at a time. And in my dream, I walked in and I was looking at the art, and then the security person looked at me and said, you know, this is real. This really happened. Do you not remember? And I said, no, I don't remember. And then this person looked at me and said, run, run. And those were dreams that I had consistently over and over again of being asked, do you not remember? And me saying, I don't. And then I would get this feeling of run as fast as you can. So those dreams, those certain situations would make me feel so crazy. I was literally thinking, there's something really wrong with me and I'm crazy. And after figuring out why those things were happening, making sense to it, using my rational mind in the end and saying, of course I had those dreams. My subconscious was trying to tell me what was going on. Of course, this person made me feel that way. I don't feel crazy anymore. Like have so much more self-esteem. I feel so connected to myself. Oh, and one of the biggest shifts also, I can feel my body. I had no idea that I went through life at least 35 years not being connected to my body. If someone would have asked me, where do you feel a certain emotion in your body? I have no idea. No idea. I don't know. Where's tightness? There's no, I don't feel. I'm only in my head. And through, I remember one of the ketamine sessions, I kept saying over and over again, I can feel my body, I can feel my, and I started touching my arms and my legs, and it didn't go away. And this was a turning point for me. I have been, for the first time in my life, consistently prioritizing my body. And one of the biggest things I see in myself is that my self-esteem through all of these changes went up so much that I naturally set so many boundaries with people, healthy boundaries. I know how to say no now. And this is something I never had before.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest ones for me.
Yeah, it sounds like now you're in a place where you just fully honor yourself. And I can imagine that allows you to, one, not only show up for yourself in a really significant way and experience life at such a deep, intimate level, but also be able to show up for other people from this place of abundance and authenticity and true, genuine love, and not out of fear necessarily. What would you say to someone who is looking to go through this process?
Fears will come up. Be brave, allow them to come up. There's a reason why there's someone like Dr. Miller there guiding you. Trust her. Trust her that she knows what she's doing, even if you have no idea what's going on. That's why you're there, because she knows. And not just as a professional, I also feel as a very, very connected person. She just intuitively knows. And I think that's a very big part of why this worked so well. Because she just knows what to do, what to say, what not to say, when to. Sometimes I would think she's not saying anything, what's going on? But it was perfect when I look back, because I needed to be with myself and my thoughts and my body. So I think I would, to sum this up, I would say, allow fears and simultaneously stay as open as you can be. There's someone there guiding you, and they got you. Because what you get on the other side of that fear, that's where transformation is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing has ever worked for me the way those 5 or 6 months of ketamine assisted psychotherapy have worked. And we're talking 14 years of talk therapy,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
have
so
their benefits, but a completely different ballgame.
Thank you so much. That was the last question that I had today.
Mhm.
I greatly appreciate your time. I feel like you seem so connected to yourself, and I can tell that this journey for you has been so significant, and so many people are going to be able to take away a lot from what you shared today.